Hey guys, it's Quinn, and in episode 26 of the fundraising series, we're going to be taking a look at a film which frankly will kind of make you question your own sanity, 2010's Shutter Island. Shutter Island stars Leonardo Dicaprio as Teddy, a U.S. Marshal assigned to investigate an island psych ward where a patient's gone missing. Leo in any role is fantastic, but I think by his standards, this is not one of his better performances. It's hard not to juxtapose his performance here with that of, say, Inception, which also came out in 2010, and Wolf of Wall Street, which was also directed by Martin Scorsese. In both of those films, I think that Leo brought the appropriate emotion, such that you never thought you were watching Leo, but you thought you were watching, like, the real-life Jordan Belfort, for instance. In this film, however, I found that a lot of his emotions were somewhat unbelievable, somewhat understated, which I think takes you out of the film. It's a shame because this plot guides you towards an emotional ending, and without that punch from the actor, this ending gets deflated. We'll talk more about this in a moment. I found the supporting cast, particularly Mark Ruffalo, to be the shining light here. Ironically, I'm not a huge Mark Ruffalo fan, so the fact that I found his performance to be wholly more convincing than Leo's is somewhat surprising. His emotions and connections to each of the characters involved is exactly at the level it should be based on the storyline, and because his character consistently stays understated, I think it keeps the audience along the entire time. He, in many ways, serves as the skeptic in this film, keeping the audience along for the ride and answering a lot of the questions that I think rightfully are brought up throughout. I think Ruffalo pulls this off quite well. However, the storyline is where all the meat of this film is. Off the bat, I want to praise it for how clever it is. You're going to watch this film with your mouth open the entire time. However, I think that the actual storytelling aspect of this film is needlessly convoluted, which seriously weighs down what this film was going for. Case in point is that in the ending, when all the pieces are put together, it still isn't quite clear what was going on throughout the film, except for at a macro level. I think when you watch this film, it's hard not to be thinking of Inception the entire time. In looking at the ending for those two films, I think it's fair to say that at the ending of Inception, for as complex as that movie is, everything ties together perfectly. At the end of Shutter Island, the plot is too convoluted, which means that the resolution doesn't fit together with the emotional impact that Inception was conversely able to hit. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick spoiler talk here to talk specifically about the ending. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, just skip ahead in the video until the banner on your screen is gone to avoid any spoilers about, the ending of the film. Okay, so just to explain this previous point somewhat further about why the ending misses. At the end of the film, I couldn't even keep straight what Leo's real name is. It's kind of a mess, and this is a huge shame because the end scene where he gets the lobotomy is supposed to be a gut punch. We're talking like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest level drama, but because the twist, where it turns out he's crazy, is done in too complex of a fashion, we lose the gut punch. I also want to quickly state where I'm at on the lobotomy debate, whether or not he purposely got one done. I personally interpreted the ending as him actively deciding to get the lobotomy, which means that this convolutedness is further disruptive to the ending because I think him purposely getting the lobotomy is an even sadder ending than if it were involuntary. Okay, spoilers over. Overall, this film has a fantastic structure, and is sure as hell an intense film. I just think that Leo's performance, combined with how the ending unravels, leaves much to be desired on an emotional front. The plot is super entertaining, however. In many ways, this film reminds me of my review of The Mule, a film which also had a great structure, but left, a little bit to be desired. I enjoyed this film a lot, but I just think there's better Leo and there's better Scorsese films out there, which is why, like The Mule, I'm giving this a rating of watch it if it's on TV. This video is sponsored by a resident of Omaha, Nebraska. This channel is committed to giving every American an equal opportunity in this country, which is why all proceeds will be donated to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Thank you for watching. Remember, black, white, left, right, we're all in this together. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.